You ever wonder why reading about murder can be comforting? Like cozy mysteries, for example, that give us small town charm, quirky characters, and just enough murder to keep things interesting without all the gore. It's like true crime, but make it adorable. Well, today we are diving into the perfect reads to match that springtime vibe with a bit of fresh flowers, some warm drinks, and amateur sleuths solving crimes in the coziest of settings. And I've got the perfect guest to help us with that today. So if you're ready, let's get into it. Welcome to Reading Under the Covers, a romance novel podcast where we chat, fangirl, and maybe even swoon over our latest reads. I'm Francesca from Under the Covers book blog, and today I am joined by Laura from the What to Read Next podcast and blog to talk about all things spring cozy mysteries, because nothing says spring like a good old-fashioned murder in a charming small town. Right? Laura always has the best cozy mystery recs, including ones that I have never even heard of before. So I cannot wait to hear what she's bringing today. We're talking about flower shop sleuths, paranormal mysteries, some bookish whodunits, and I even got to recommend to her a mob wedding planning, Real Housewives-ish cozy mystery. So let's get into it. Welcome to the Reading Under the Covers podcast, Laura. It's so nice to have you back.
So happy to be back and talk about my favorite thing, cozy mysteries.
I know. I love to get your cozy mystery recommendations because you always have recommendations that I haven't heard of. So
Yeah.
I love to get all of them. And it is pretty much spring. I know that we're just a couple of days short. I feel like we can start getting in the vibe. So I am so excited to hear what spring cozy mysteries you're bringing to the show.
So I actually based some of the recommendations based on your romance spring reading tropes, like
Love
flower shop,
it.
wedding, and all these different things. And we got a paranormal for you, but
Oh, good.
um,
Okay.
so we have Facebook recommendations to talk about, but they all spring like. If cozy mysteries tend to be long-running series, will feature different holidays, different times of the year. They get published all throughout the year. Some cozy mystery authors publish 2 or 3 cozy mysteries a year, so you get a little bit of everything. But essentially, they're self-contained series where there might be a story arc of a romance or a bigger mystery, but for the most part, you can read them at any order. You can just pick a mystery. They'll have a little bit, the amateur sleuth will have to figure out a murder that's not gory, and then they just basically figure out who did the thing. And some of them are set in big cities, which are considered millennial cozies, and then there's some other smaller towns, which is what typically we see with cozy mysteries. I think these are all set in smaller towns, so they're cozy. They're spring-like. The first one is, it's my tried and true series that I've been reading. Actually, I typically read series starters to get an idea of what the mystery is, but this series I've been like invested in it, and I've been reading new installments as they come out. So it's Murder of the Lemonberry Tea, which is by Darci. It's part of the Become Big Shot Cozy Mystery series. Basically, Lindsay is, I think she's either from Wall Street or she was married to a chap, and something like basically he cheated on her, and she ended up like at a like randomly she bought this lighthouse that she converted to a bake shop into her house, and there's like a ghost of the lighthouse who protects her and helps her solve murders. And so she meets, and this is a small lake town in Michigan. So we got her boyfriend, who's Irish, like road guy. We got a Newfie, which is a huge dog, who's part of the mystery, and her best friend's an influencer, and all different things. And from day one, there's been murders. This one, the influencer's family comes from London. She's a socialite influencer, and they come from London to go visit the influencer and visit Lindsay and get to see the bake shop. And there's a murder that happens, as one does, and they have to solve it. It's set in springtime in Michigan. There's small town dynamics. It's a really cute one, and I really love Darci Hannah's cozy mysteries. They're just like, they're cozy, but they're actually like fun to read. But if you like St. Patrick's Day, she got Murder of the Blarney Bash, which is about St. Patrick's Day. Her boyfriend's Irish, and his uncle came to open an Irish gift shop, and he gets accused for murder. So we got a couple cozy mysteries from that series. And that's not a long series. There's only 6 or 7 books out, so you have plenty of this. But we're going to move to a paranormal one. It's Murder Can Confuse Your Chihuahua by Pressey. So this one we have an artist left Cabot and a adorable Chihuahua named Van Gogh. God bless. She travels to a craft fair in North Carolina where she stumbles upon a body near the riverbank and she has a ghostly companion and an eccentric medium to solve the crime before it's too late. So this is a touch paranormal. We got the ghost, we got the psychic, we got the chihuahua, and we're just trying to figure out who did this. So this one, if you're looking for a little bit of touch paranormal, a psychic to try to figure out like actually like otherworldly, this is a good series for you. If you like from other ghost stories, I think Olivia Blacke has a new series that came out last fall that actually set in Boston and is about ghosts and trying to figure out murders. So if you're looking for that, maybe we'll come up in the fall and come up with a ghost psychics series.
For sure. That sounds really fun to me.
Yeah. So let's move on to actually a mystery class. We got Bake Off by Maya Corrigan. This one is a cafe manager and her granddad head to mystery fan fest, which we love. We love those book cons. And there's a dessert bake off that takes deadly turn. Of course, there's some poison because I love talking to cozy mystery authors and asking them like, "What's your favorite way to kill a character?" And each cozy mystery has your own favorite signature death, whether it's poisons, whether it is actually a bludgeon, or all the other fun stuff. This one's a poison. And so it turns out that Dal's grandfather's longtime relatives find dead in her room, and they actually have to go to the convention to figure out this murder because they're accusing the granddad, his rival, of you murder. And they're like, no, this is not happening. We're going to figure it out. So this is like a convention. If you're thinking about like, book cons and like all the other events, does it connect with the readers? And it's like, maybe there's a murder. It's kind of like hiding because you're on vacation. At the same time, you're trying to figure out like, the rules of it. That's Baked Off by Maya Corrigan.
That sounds like so much fun.
Yeah, and if you're looking for another mystery fan fest, specifically Ellie Alexander has the Mystery Bookcase series. They're available in Unlimited. The audios are excellent. I'm also listening to that one. And the first book is a mystery book fest where this was a mystery book owner and somebody dies and the people think that's part of the murder mystery. And they're like, no, no. If you're looking for a companion, you're looking for Mystery Fan Fest and Mystery South, that's another one to look forward to it. And that series on audio is excellent. Those are short books. They're like 6 hour long, like less than 200 pages. So it's a quite sized stuff.
Yeah.
So that's Baked Off by Mary Corrigan. And then the Mystery Bookshop series by Ellie Alexander is the first book in the series. I'm not sure of the title off the top of my head, but yeah, it is a good companion. Now we're going to go to flower shops because it's spring.
Yes. Love it.
Pint of Flowers by Jess Dillon. So we have a flower shop owner from Tennessee. She lands the biggest job in her career, arranging flowers for the mayor's daughter's grand wedding. So we got wedding, we got flowers, we got all the different things. And then the wedding planner is found injured and muttering cryptic warning, realized something's more sinister beneath the town. So we got a suspected murder. Did they die? What's happening? But it's like you got blessed with big weddings, big rich people wedding, and trying to be a service worker in them and getting through it. It's set in Tennessee, so there's Southern charm. There's small town drama. It has flowers and springtime. And it has the mystery that adds on to the level of heightened emotion.
Yeah.
But, yeah. And the good news, these are not gory. So we're not going to see like the actual gory murder. We just hear what happened. It's like a true crime light.
Yeah. That's one of my favorite things about cozy mystery. It's like we don't need to know all the gory details. Sometimes I just want to read about murder, but not see all the blood.
These are actually my bedtime stories. This is what I listen to go to sleep.
Just go to sleep listening to murder.
Some people listen to Daylight. I listen to cozy mysteries.
Yeah. It's so funny. I was trying to explain cozy mysteries to my mom one day, and I was like, "Oh yeah, it's such a cozy, like very laid back murder investigation." She's like, "Something is not making sense to me. You don't get it."
I know. So yeah. So we have another wedding planner cozy mystery because it's springtime. Weddings are starting to happen. So this was Red, Red, and Dead by V.M. Burns. V.M. Burns also writes Valerie Burns. They're awesome. I actually recommend this in the Noble Hour episode. We recommended one of those books in Noble Hour episodes for Black Amateur Sleuth. So Samantha Washington owns a bookstore. She owns a mystery bookstore. And her first book, the realtor dies, and they try to accuse her of murder, and she solves the murder. But Samantha also writes historical mysteries. So there's always like a fun little like historical mystery, like storyline that's happening that she's writing in similar parallels to the actual stories. She finds out that a high profile wedding planner is murdered, and Sim works with her grandma, Nana Jo, and her friends. So we got Granny Sleuths. Actually, they're the ones sleuthing. Samantha just wants to write her books and owns her mystery shop, but she doesn't want to like amateur sleuth. And so they are actually trying to figure out who killed the wedding planner and avoid disaster. So this one has like feisty grandmothers who are just like meddling. It's also set in Michigan. It's in a lake town in Michigan. It's cozy town. There's also the novel in progress, which is kind of like fun if you have not read like some historical mysteries that I really love of Veronica Speedwell by Deanna Rayburn, or even Sherry Thomas Lake Sherlock series. It's in that vein of historical mysteries that we get. So we get two books in one. We get dual timeline. Gotta love that. Yes. And we have an amateur sleuth that doesn't want to be an amateur sleuth, which we love that trope. I don't want to be solving murders, but somehow I am.
I will read all about somebody else that is totally not prepared and just stumble around and find out what's happening.
Yes, it just reminds me of my day job. I'm an investigator. It reminds me of my early days as a baby investigator. Because I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing. What does this mean? And yes, I do. It's perilous. This is why I do this. I don't deal with this kind of crime, but it's really fun stuff. So the final book is Pint of No Return by Janet Mitnick. So this was my favorite one. So Trinidad is actually married. She was married to an embezzler who happens to have other two ex-wives. And so, thanks to her ex-husband, she gets a shake shop in Oregon. It's called Shimmy and Shake Shop. And they sell delicious milkshakes. So this is like more like about to be summer, but we're just like, we're gonna go spring. So she's basically like, it turns out this is a small town, and there's a popcorn king who makes popcorn who is found dead, like head, like falling off the popcorn machine. So it turns out that one of the embezzlers, her ex-husband, who's an embezzler, ex-wife, is accused of murder. And they're all friends. So Trinidad is basically trying to find out who is the real killer. So she set out to clear the name and she's not the crimes officer, she's not the real reason, and you just like trying to fix it. Solving someone else's problem. And I gotta love like someone who's married a scammer who wants to avoid having this happen again and has this trauma bonded with other wives. And we're gonna solve each other's murders. Yes, and it's a milkshake shop. So how fun is that? It's getting ready for summer.
Yes. Love it. And I'm actually going to let you leave from here with one recommendation that I think you should check out. I don't think you have. It's a recent release. I picked it up on Kindle Unlimited. It might be the author's first book. I'm not sure. Mm-hmm. It's RSVP for Murder by C.J. Lee. Ooh. And it's like a housewives mob wedding planning cozy mystery. Yes, so I think it would be perfect for you because like our heroine, she moves back to her town and opens a wedding planning business. She's struggling financially. Business is new, whatever. And she's also trying to avoid her ex, but she still has feelings for him. And then she gets this call because it's like an idyllic kind of town. So there's a big celebrity that wants to have the wedding there, and they found her on Google or whatever, and like the assistant calls in and it's, oh, so would you be able to plan this wedding for this big celebrity? And she's sure. And she's, let me check my schedule. And so of course she's fitting it in, but the family is possibly mob related, and they're also going to be filming the wedding for a reality TV show because there is like a reality TV kind of like Real Housewives going on. So there, and of course, wedding chaos and death and whatever. So it's a little bit of mob and a little bit of Real Housewives. So I think it's perfect.
Yes, we have Real Housewives, mob, and then just like the murder side and
Yes,
the wedding and stuff. I think it's a
it's
pretty good one.
perfect.
And I love it. So what else can you do? You must download it now.
Yes, yeah, so it's fun. Laura, thank you so much for coming with all of the wonderful recs. And can you tell us a little bit about what's going on the What to Read Next world, blog, podcast, Substack, everything?
There's a lot. So right now we are sharing book recommendation episodes. We'll be revisiting. One of our new projects is to go back to all 700 episodes and pull the best of the best. So there'll be like new recommendations, backlist recommendations, and whatnot. So there'll be episodes hopefully every day, just so you can get recommendations. My goal is to topple your TBR with new recommendations for every mood.
Yeah.
So a little bit of everything. We even got literary fiction. I realized I have 7 to 10 episodes on literary fiction. So I'm like, if you want to talk about to your smart friends about books that makes you smart, I'll have some book recommendations for you. So that's what's happening in the podcast, and it's going to be on live on YouTube, Spotify, iTunes, and wherever you listen to the podcast. I do have a Substack. I'll be doing some library content coming soon because libraries are at peril and we gotta support them. Libraries are a great resource for us to get third spaces, places for Wi-Fi, places for services that you may not want to buy, seats and like printers and stuff like that. But they're also great places to borrow books. So if you're on a budget, because life is hard right now,
Yes.
libraries are a great place to get free books or to borrow. So I talk about tips and tricks and everything, and that's in the Substack. You can always sign up, and all the links are available at whattonextblog.com. That's where all the places are. So yeah, thank you so much for having me.
No, thank you so much for coming. We'll do this again. Actually, I love the idea of the ghost cozy mystery, so we'll have to revisit that when it comes time to fall, for sure. And I'm going to have all of Laura's links in the description box so you can check all of that out and go follow her. Also, if you guys follow my Substack, you'll find Laura because I've got her linked on there as well. And she has an amazing Substack. Plus, like she said, she's revisiting all the backlist content and authors. And let me tell you, she's got an extensive list of amazing, super popular authors. I am super excited for all of that to come out soon. So
Yes,
thanks again, Laura.
thank you.
So, what did you think? So many fun and amazing recommendations if you're looking for some cozy mysteries with a spring theme to get you in the mood for this season. I want to thank again Laura for stopping by with some excellent recommendations, and I will leave all of her links in the description box down below where you can check out her blog, her podcast, and her Substack as well. And I would love to hear from you guys what are your favorite spring cozy mystery recommendations. So, if you've read a book that is perfect for spring, leave them in the comments and let's share some recommendations with everyone. Also, if you've read any of the books that we talked about here today, let us know what you thought of them too. As always, you can find us on the blog at underthecoversbookblog.com and subscribe for free to our Substack so you get all of the latest news for everything that we post across all of our platforms. And if you're tuning in on YouTube, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that bell notification so you never miss a new episode or video. I also want to encourage you guys to visit this video if you want even more springtime recommendations. These are spring romance reads that are perfect for you to read this season. So head on over there. But for today, that is all I have for you guys. I hope you find something amazing to read, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.